For what purpose does the gentlelady from Florida seek recognition?
I have an amendment at the desk.
The clerk will report the amendment.
Amendment offered by Ms. Graham of Florida. Page 6, line 5, after the dollar amount, insert increased by $3 million. Page 8, line 10, after the dollar amount, insert reduced by $3 million.
Pursuant to House Resolution 743, the gentlelady from Florida proposed each will control 5 minutes. The chair recognizes the gentlelady from Florida.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield myself such time as I may consume.
The gentlelady is recognized.
The Apalachicola-Chattahoochee and Flint River system is a critically important asset to the southeastern United States ecology, economy, and heritage. Unfortunately, it's also become a point of intense political friction, lengthy, ongoing, and extremely costly litigation. I strongly believe that if we could get away from the politics and the lawsuits, we'd have a much better chance of resolving this issue in a way that brings us together rather than divides us. That's why I'm optimistic about the recent work of the Apalachicola-Chattahoochee and Flint Stakeholders, a diverse group of private citizens who live and work in the ACF Basin. They represent the whole spectrum of stakeholders, public and private, from Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. They've been able to unite around the common mission of changing the management of the ACF Basin to create a healthier economy and environment which will benefit everyone. And they've made a number of recommendations to the Corps of Engineers to meet their goal of a sustainable ACF Basin. The ACF Stakeholder Group has identified significant gaps in fundamental scientific and technical knowledge needed to best manage this natural resource. One of those recommendations is that the Corps conduct more basic scientific research on the entire river basin and bay. My amendment is intended to provide a small amount of money to the Corps so that they can simply do more of that kind of research in the ACF. In short, there is a whole lot that we still don't know about how water moves throughout the ACF Basin, and I believe it's simply common sense that if we have better information about this unique natural resource, we in turn can manage it better for today and generations to come. Let's follow the good example of the ACF stakeholders and work together to get this done. I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentlelady reserves. Does any member seek recognition in opposition?
Mr. Chairman.
The gentleman from Idaho is recognized.
I claim time in opposition, although I am not opposed to the amendment.
Without objection, the gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Chairman, I will not oppose this amendment because it does not require the Corps to fund anything in particular. We have had other similar amendments already tonight, and I'd just like to remind my colleagues that these amendments simply increasing the funding level of a particular account. They do not direct that funding to a particular activity. If they did fund specific projects, those would be congressional earmarks that are no longer allowed. And as we talked about on the last amendment, frankly, that's something I would like to change myself, and I know that the ranking member would also. But since this amendment only changes the overall account level, I will not oppose it, and I would yield back the balance of my time.
The gentleman yields back. The gentlelady from Florida is recognized.
I just want to thank the chair and the ranking member for working with me on this amendment, and I yield back.
The gentlelady yields. The question is on the amendment offered by the gentlelady from Florida. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The amendment is agreed to.